Comparing skeletal systems. A skeletal system, or articulated skeleton, allows vertebrates to move well. This movement requires the integration of two other systems, the muscular system that moves a skeleton, while the nervous system moves muscles. When we make a decision to move, whether conscious or unconscious, we are making a decision to flex a set of muscles which moves our skeleton in the desired way. We generally don't think about typing, walking, or chewing, but all these activities involve the coordination of our nervous system, muscular system, and skeletal system. There are three general types of skeletons: hydrostatic, endoskeletons, and exoskeletons. Hydrostatic skeletons are flexible skeletons supported by fluid pressure inside muscular walls. As the muscles contract, the organism changes shape. Hydrostatic skeletons, such as that of the earthworm, allow animals to swim and burrow. Arthropods and mollusks have soft bodies that are covered by exoskeletons, or outer shells. The shells of insects are made primarily of chitin, a complex carbohydrate, while the shells of mollusks, such as shellfish and snails, are made of minerals such as calcium carbonate. On the left, we have the chitin exoskeletons, all these different creatures. Then on the right, the calcium carbonate exoskeletons, or shells. And we have our snail here and a scallop. Skeletons inside a body are known as endoskeletons. They are typically made of calcium carbonate. Their function is to provide support, shape, protection of internal structures, and a means of locomotion. Some soft-body invertebrates have internal skeletal structures, even if they have no vertebrae. Porifera, sponges, have the least complex endoskeletal network. It consists of microscopic spicules arranged in a network. Echinoderms, which are sea stars and sea urchins, our closest relatives throughout the 9 animal phyla, are invertebrates, but they have endoskeletons made of calcium carbonate. Hard, bony plates below the skin are connected by strong but flexible tissues. Vertebrate endoskeletons are formed of minerals, protein, water, and cells. The mineral compound is hydroxyapatite, mostly carbon and phosphorus. The protein is mostly collagen, which forms flexible connective tissue. The cells include the precursors of blood cells, osteocytes, which maintain homeostasis of mineral content, osteoblasts, which build up bone, and osteoclasts, which break down bone. Water makes up 25% of the mass of a bone. Bones are classified into 4 types based on their shape: long bones, short bones, flat bones, and then irregular bones. Bones are made up of different tissues. These are the components that make up the bone from the outside of the bone to the inside. The periosteum is a tough outer shell containing blood vessels and nerves. Compact bone is the hard, smooth layer that protects the inner tissues. Spongy bone is the porous, lacy part of the bone that makes it strong, yet less dense, and finally, bone marrow that produces blood cells. There are variations in counting methods, but there are approximately 206 named bones that are attached to each other by movable joints. Using the human skeleton as an example, the major bones of the vertebrate skeleton are grouped as shown in the following slide. So the groupings are over here, okay? Skull, spine, chest, arms, hands, pelvis, legs, and feet. And then here are the different bones that are inside each group. So I'm not going to read through them, but if you'd like, just pause for a second and see if you recognize any of them. Okay, well here, ribs, that's an easy one. So when you're ready, proceed on to the next slide. Here's a picture of the human skeleton. Can't really see what's going on there, but that's designed, so if you'd like to click over here, you can see it in more detail. To learn more about the skeletal system, click on this link to access an interactive and educational website. Comparative anatomy of the skeleton is one of the best examples of natural selection and divergent evolution from a common ancestor. All vertebrates evolved from fish that had 6 types of bones in their fins. All 6 are now evident in the forelimbs of primates, rodents, reptiles, and birds. The bone shapes have adapted over time to allow the species to swim, fly, run, or grasp, as shown on the next slide. This adaptation is known as homologous structures, features that came from a common ancestor but now have different purposes. It is worth pausing on this video and examining each structure, but let's introduce it. Here are the forelimbs here, color-coded, and let's just look at humans first. Okay, so you have 5 phalanges here, those are yellow, and let's look at the box turtle. 5 phalanges. Then you have the metacarpals, the blue guys here, same as the turtle. Then you have this guy here. What is that? That's the carpal. And then look at the arrangement of the last 3 bones. Right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Very much just different size for the human. And you go over to the fruit bat. Once again, 5 phalanges, but part of the phalange is this right here, right? The metacarpal. Where in the humans, that's certainly not that long. So let me erase all that so you can look at it at your leisure. Delete page, no, just clear the ink. And just compare the various bones in those various creatures, including a human. Over evolutionary time, fish evolved into tetrapods, which are 4-limbed animals, and colonized the land. Here's one of the creatures that evolved from the fish, a pigeon. The long bones of birds are hollow, making birds lighter. This is one of many adaptations that enable flight. Compare a bird skeleton and a fish skeleton to find more evidence that they evolved from a common ancestor as fins evolved into limbs. And perhaps you can pause the video here and check it out. I'll start with one. Here's the spine with vertebra, and here it is in the bird. And then here's an arm and a hand, and that matches up with the fins. So let me erase that. And you can look at it on your own now.